Yeah. Yeah. First of all, good morning, everyone. So today, last two classes, we discussed about the some introduction versions. So what we are going to discuss, all these things we discussed there. So today, we'll start with the some installations part, right? Installations. So SAP install. Why? Because if we want to work on the SAP systems, we want to work on the SAP systems. So we need to do the SAP installations first. So first we have to do the SAP installations. So to perform this SAP installations, we should understand the implementation methodologies. We should perform the implementation methodologies. Implementation methodologies means so in the installation, during the installation projects, our SAP installation comes under which phase? Which phase our SAP installation comes? So normally this methodology is called the SAP ASAP methodology. So SAP ASAP methodology, SAP ASAP methodologies. So as part of this implementation projects or build project, the first what we should know the methodologies, the phases of the implementation, the phases of the SAP implementation, right? So the phases of the SAP project. So SAP means accelerated SAP. It's a SAP standard project preparation and implementation methodology. So here they are the purpose of actually the main purpose of this SAP methodology. The pages are called the main purpose is for designing the projects, implementation in efficiency manner, and also people, so timelines, quality, other resources, all these things we can plan it one by one without any miss, right? That's why they have named it as the SAP methodology, which means accelerated methodology. So the main purpose we know. So what is the main purpose of this pages? So just to project management, so from designing, installations, and also how many resources we required, the timelines, the efforts, quality of the work, so scope of the work, all these things will be defined, will be discussed in the each and every phase actually during the implementation phase actually. So before, normally we everyone will support the support projects. In the projects, we have the types of projects are there: implementation projects, support project, migration projects, upgrade project, something like that, right? So here implementation means all here we will do the build system build activities and everything that we are everyone aware of. So we will do the system builds, means system installations we will do. But before you go for the system installations, there are the some discussions. There the some discussions will be happens. So what are those discussions? So some scope of activities, bidding with the client, customer will go for the bidding. So one company, one organization will their bidding. Then after that, what? Suppose the one new customer they want to go for the SAP. So what are the preparations we have to prepare it? Like that is called the project preparation activity. Project preparation activities, project preparation. So as part of this project preparation, the main focus of this phase is called the planning, initial planning, and to set the goals. Goals means what we are going to achieve, some discussions, initial planning, the scope of implementations, establishing the teams, hiring the teams, resources hiring, commitments, so teams, discussions with the customer. So all these things will be sequence of project implementation, documentations, everything will be planned in this project preparation activities, right? This is the first phase, project preparation, right? Why? Because without you proper planning, so you cannot directly go ahead and install it, right? The planning is very important. How many products we required, but normally in our case, offshore case, So maybe architects or project managers. So managers will involve during these phases. Then they will start discussing everything. Then they will tell the agenda or the scope of work to their consultants, right? So in this case, the project managers are someone they will involve in these phases, not all the people actually. Okay, so the main agenda, the main aim of the project preparation is the planning. In the name itself, we have the preparation activities, how we want to proceed, which systems we want to install it, what are the goals, team goals, how many team members we required, like typically like so scope of implementations, establishing the team structures, how many members, resources, so like sequence of project implementations, all these things we have to do in the project preparation, right? That is the just initial planning. Once that planning is completed, they will go for the phase two, that is called the business business blueprint. Business blueprint. In the business blueprint, the business blueprint. So here the main aim of once the project preparation is completed, the next phase is called the business blueprint. The main aim of this phase is understanding of the procedures, support of the projects, and detailed blueprint means documentation. Detailed documentation containing the all the requirements, right? And also some initiation meetings, then project objectives, goals, everything they will set in the blueprint. So in the blueprint, the mainly they will focus on the documentation here. Blueprint means documentation, how the client strategy, how the server strategy, how the our landscape would be. So all this information, the phase number two, blueprint. So which means so the common understanding of the procedures. What are the procedures we have to follow here? Means here we will define the some scope of define the ways of working here. Like suppose like documentations, gathering the requirements. Suppose if you want to install the SAP, what are the things you required? Gathering the requirements, like some initial meetings with the customers and also team members, and also their objectives, goals. All these things are the high level, but just we would like to know. So what are the things will happen as part of the SAP implementation projects, right? So business blueprint. So the thing just documentations. So and also realization phase. The next phase is called the so realization phase. Realization phase. So in this realization phase, what exactly happens in the realization phase? So here actual our work starts here. This phase builds the implementing and focus on the installations, right? So the this phase builds on the so focus on implementing the all the business process requirements, right? So baseline, final configurations, so concerned with the remaining scopes, all these things will be discussed here. Realization phase. So here, so actual our work like installations work, then baseline. Baseline means so every project there is a baseline. Means what activities we need to support, like what activities we have to support, and also we need to what activities we are not supporting. So we need to discuss with the customer, agree with the customer, take the sign off from the stakeholders, project managers. So some process requirements, all these things will be happen in the so realization phase. So actual our work starts here. So then the phase number four, the phase number four is called the final preparation. Final, so preparation, final preparation. So final preparation activities. So final preparation means after the installations done, so the testing team, the testings will be performed, cutover activities, end user trainings, all other tasks are required for the go live activities. They will complete in final preparation activity. So the organization ready to begin the using the new system. So before before the users or company they starts using the SAP system, they will do the all the preparation activities, final preparation activities, cutover activities, trainings, user trainings, how to use this one, and also some of the testing related activities, access perspective, all these things will happen in the preparation, final preparation phase. So here the cutover starts actually. Here the cutover starts here, the production. So the cutover starts here. Cutover means so go live activities. Step number 5 is called the step number 5 means go live. So go live activities. So go live activities means so here actually from journey starts from pre-production to the production live production operations. The most critical elements here is that so support, like here the main work starts in the production system. All users will start using the so your production system from pre-prod to production system, they will start using it. Then after that they will we have to do the support activities, support project, support activities. So support activities means monitoring, so setups, transaction execution, performance monitoring, database monitoring, so transports, imports, any bug fixes, all these things after the go live, all these things will happen. So here users will start after the go live onwards, users will start using the your products, your system, your SAP system. Here in the go live phase, they will start using the so this they will start using the your production system operations. So till then, so we have all these things we have to complete it, preparations, documentations, system installations. Then this one will take a lot of time actually relation. Why? Because we need to build the systems. Then developers, security, functional, they will do their work. Then finally they will come to the final preparations like testing related activities, cutover planning, so end user trainings, all these things sign off. So all these things will happen in the final preparation activities. Then go live. Then project went to the go live. Go live means so they will all users they will start using the your production system. All users they will start using the production system. They will start using the production system. So that so from here onwards, so our requirement will come here. Here onwards, we have to support the 24/7 support some customers like because the once the project is go live, then business users will start using their businesses. So suppose it's like so suppose IRCTC business, Indian business, like Indian hours we have to so support it. Like which means one basis team, one basis person should be required in the ship. Minimum one person is required in the ship to support their system, checking the performance, monitoring DB performance, all these things, right? So this is the implementation methodologies, so which will happen in every projects and every customer. So normally some cases, so here the supports directly we will join in the support project. Most of the time we will join in the support projects only. So after the go live, we will join in the support project. From here onwards, we will start supporting their projects, their systems and everything. So if you are the luckiest person, then you will involve from the preparation onwards. So you will involve it. So nothing is there. Just here is the so some important things you should know, like here. So preparations, blueprint, relation, final preparation. So here. So if you are the luckiest person, you will get the hands-on installations, documentations and everything. Otherwise, you will be in the last phase. So which means here more people are required here, more support people are required here to support their projects and everything here. Here actual, so business will start from here after the go live activities, business go live. So sometimes we will hear, right? Go lives are happening, go live activities are happening means they will start production cutover activities are starting here in this phase. So these are the methodologies SAP defined. So the aim of they are defining is to we won't miss in this way. So we are not missing. So just we can define this everything here. So we will cover the entire project life cycle here. So here we have covered the entire project life cycle, how the project will start and how the project will go for the go live activities. And also it's very transparent value for the delivering the systems, that we can commit the customer when it is going to complete it. So all these things we can prove it by checking this, by following this methodology, we can follow it here. So this is the best practices which we have to follow in the organization whenever any go live activities. So preparation activities, agenda, blue, all these things we will agree with the customer. We will successfully deliver the projects to the customers. That is what we will do here in the SAP methodologies projects. So any questions from anyone? Any questions from anyone? Just you should be aware of. I will share the some documentation for this one. You don't need to worry. Okay, in the group I will share it from today onwards. So okay, don't need to worry. So just our work stuff, but we will discuss from here onwards, like relation base. Well, because here the nothing is the preparation, the documentations, preparations, documentation. But here onwards, our requirements gathering. So everything will start from here. So to install the SAP means relation phase. So what we required here, right? What are the things we required? Why? Because we need to build the system first. Without building the system, how you can log in or how others can log into the your SAP system and they can do the business. So we cannot do the business, right? Here we should gather the requirements. What are the requirements? So hardware requirements to install the SAP installations, to perform the SAP installations. The first we should be required the, so what are the things like, so what are the hardware requirements? Hardware requirements we should gather it. So and also the software requirements we should, what are the softwares we require, because we are using the software for our business, right? So that what are the software, and also to install the software you need some dedicated hardwares. What are the hardware you required? What are the things will comes under the hardware, right? So SAP we can install on any operating system. Simply say any OS. SAP we can install on any operating system, which means either the Windows and non-Windows. Non-Windows means Unix, Linux, Solaris, AX, ZOS, OS365. All these things we can do the SAP installations, right? SAP we can install on the any OS and any database. So either the ECC, so NetWeaver, PI, PO, any database in the market. We have multiple databases in the market. So what are those databases? So anyone idea what are the databases we have in the market currently?
Oracle,
Excellent. SQL, Oracle.
MS SQL, DB2, MaxDB.
Okay. HANA. Sybase. So we have databases are available in the market. So SAP is the application. SAP is not the OS. SAP is not the database. So SAP we can install on any operating system. SAP is the application. So SAP we can install on any database, any operating system, and any database we can do the SAP installations, we can perform it, right? So database we can use it any. So and also how much RAM we required, and also how many CPUs we required, and also space perspective, how much space we required. So these are the things we should be discussed here. So RAM. So normally for HANA, for SAP, for HANA we require the more RAM, but SAP we does not require that much of RAM. So SAP minimum, just minimum 8 GB plus is required for RAM size. 8 GB also we can do the SAP installation. But in the organizations, some organizations they will follow for the non-production systems in the landscape, so they will go for the 16 GB, or production they will go for the 32 GB, like that they will start. So doing that one, the RAM size. Okay, the RAM size for the SAP application server. So minimum 8 GB for our trainings and practice purpose we can use it. But actual thing when it comes to here, we should require the 16 GB. So if I tell us 8 GB, you tell only 8 GB to during the interview point of time. So but I'm telling like minimum 16 GB is required. Okay, so maximum up to your budget, right? So CPUs, how many CPUs you required? In the CPU, one physical CPU, PCPU, we will call it as the PCPU. We have the virtual CPU in the cloud concept. Nowadays, we have the cloud concept, right? Cloud. In the cloud, we have the virtual CPUs concept. In the virtual CPUs concept. In the virtual CPU concept, so we have, so in the virtual CPU concept, we have, so the calculations are different. One physical CPU will handle the 14 to 16 GB of RAM. 14 to 16 GB of RAM. So which means when it comes to the cloud side, VCPU, virtual CPU, suppose if I take up the AWS cloud. So one CPU will handle the off means 7 GB, 7 to 8 GB, 7 to 8 GB will handle it. So means one physical CPU equals to 2 virtual CPUs in the cloud side. So, but in the normal, in the physical on-premises, physical CPUs means in the on-premises environment. So we have one CPU will handle the 14 to 16 GB of RAM, one physical CPU. One CPU equals to 2 cores, 2 threads will be allocated. So which means if you have the, suppose, if you choose the, suppose like 36 GB RAM, then you need the 3 physical CPUs you required. Physical CPUs, cores, socket. There is a calculation in the CPU side. In the hardware infrastructure side, when you're calculating, so there is a calculation. One socket, right? So 24 CPUs. One socket will handle. There is a CPU side. There is a architecture. Just if you are getting confused, you can ignore it. You don't need to remember all these things actually, because it will come under as part of the hardware requirements. So that maybe here the main architects, the management, they will involve in the procuring the hardware from respective vendor, either the HP, or Dell. So they will involve it. So but we should be aware of how much RAM we required for the RAMs, CPU, and also space recommendations. Suppose if you want to, what is the CPU means? So Intel Haswell CPUs are recommended, or later versions are recommended for this one. So space. So minimum 200 GB, 200 GB plus is required here to install the SAP. Minimum 200 GB only SAP. 200 GB is required. 200 GB space is required. So in our systems. So these all are network means. So network also it should be in the good bandwidth. One maybe it's in the Gbps mode, 1 gigabytes per second. So these are the main things we required to perform the SAP installations. So what are our requirements? So for our installation purpose, you see here our installation purpose. So we have systems like, this is our Windows systems we are using initially, then Windows Server 2012 operating system. So we are using this Windows system. Then, so if you see the RAM requirement, the properties wise, we have the 14 GB RAM. So maybe I can increase it to up to the 2 GB, then it will be 16 GB RAM. So our computer name also defined, OS also Windows. We have 600 GB space is available here. So already one SAP is running here. I will create the one more SAP so that for you guys you can practice it. So like that we have our system is ready. You can see not our system, for other batch the systems are ready. So other batch they are doing the some other work. So that's the reason. So they are using this SAP system for other batch. So for ours, we are going to install the new one here for our batch. Okay. So this is our requirements, hardware requirements. For us, training purpose, even if you have the minimum 6 GB also fine, sorry, 8 GB also fine, or 16 GB also fine training requirements. If you have the more RAM, system will be speed. If you have the less RAM, it will be some sort of some performance issues you may get it out, right? So these are the requirements, right? These are the requirements to install the SAP application. So as part of this one, OS, we have clarified with the OS database, DB also installed here. So DB we have also installed. We want to install the DB HANA or SQL, that DB also installed. But before you first perfect, first we will do the on the our SQL server. Then later, once you perfect, then we will do on the installation on the SAP HANA DB. We can do the installation. That is also fine, right? So that is then that is the HANA. Maybe because SAP we can install on any database, but in that smallest database is the SQL server. It will be easily you can do the installations, and even HANA also. But HANA is required the more RAM size, but SUSE Linux operating system is required. That is also we will do, not a problem. And RAM, so minimum this much of RAM is required. CPUs, network space, all this will comes under hardware requirements, right? So then if I talk about the software requirements, it's the main thing here. What are the softwares we required to perform the installation? What are the softwares we required here? What are the softwares we required here to perform the SAP installations? What are the softwares and where we have to download those softwares? Coming to the softwares part, we need SWPM, which means software provisioning manager software. Then exports. Then third is the kernel, and fourth one is the DB. Then fifth one is the DB client. Then sixth one is the SAP host agent. SAP host agent. So these are the softwares we required from the to install the SAP. Sir, which SAP system we have to do for installation? Either anything in SAP, as we speak yesterday, we can just ECC, NetWeaver, S4 HANA, BW, PIPO, and solution manager. So many things are there. Many SAP products are there, as we discussed, right? Many products are there in SAP. So suppose take example here, we will do the installations on the NetWeaver products we can do, or ECC products also we can do. So for any application, any product, any SAP technology, any SAP product, so these softwares are common. These softwares are common softwares. So only the exports may differentiate it. For ECC, you need to download the ECC exports. For NetWeaver, we need to download the NetWeaver product exports. CRM, you need to download the CRM. SRM, you need to download the SRM exports. BW, you need to download the BW for HANA exports. And S4 HANA, you need to download S4 HANA. Fiori, you need to download the Fiori for exports. So, so depends upon the product which you are installing, either the ECC or NetWeaver or BW, S4 HANA. That depends upon that exports you have to download. That export softwares you have to download it. Kernel software. So DB is common. Client is common. Host, all are common. Only the exports may change it. Export may change it. Depends upon the product which you are installing. It depends upon the product. So you are installing. Like SWPM software is common for all the products. Like exports are common for all the products. So kernel is common for all the products. So DB client, host agent, all are the common. All are the common for depends upon the your products. So this all are the common. So common softwares we have to download it. Sir, where we have to download it? So to download the SAP softwares, So are you clear with this requirement? What are the softwares we required? Any questions, any concerns from anyone?
Yeah, no, Ravi.
Yeah. So very simple actually. Just you can remember the SWPM exports can, and they may ask you questions. So what are the softwares you required? During the entire point of time, they may ask you, can you tell me the software's requirement to install the SAP? Also, can you tell me the phases during the implementations, right? So where our actual work starts with realization. So how to install the softwares, where to download it. So like that, they may ask you few questions on the SAP installations. Why? Because this is the first point we are putting into the resume. So that it's a very important to understand all these things, right? Storage requirement. So in my system, you no need to do anything in your systems actually. So it's a minimum 200 GB plus is required. So everything you can install remotely on the my systems. So suppose if your hardware is not supporting, so you can do installation on my system itself also. So we have the things ready. So if you want to do your system, suppose if you want to perform in your system, in your systems, in your local laptops, then you need to install the VM. Under the VM, then you need to install again OS. Again, you need to database. Again, you need to install it. I will, I will provide the softwares. If you want to install even your local machine, you can do that one. Or if you want to install my remote machine, so you can also do that one. So you can also perform that one. Okay. So RAM minimum 16 GB is required. 16 or 8 GB is also okay. Minimum 8 GB is also okay, but your system is very dead slow. So better you should have the 16 GB, then 8 GB you can allocate to the SAP. Remaining 8 GB you have the local, so that will be very enough for you. Okay. So that is the requirements, local requirements, but in the server requirement, but no one is going to ask you in the local requirement. So they will ask you in the server side how much RAM is required minimum. So no one asks you questions on the laptop how much required. So don't tell like I don't have a laptop, I have a laptop, I have installed in the laptops. Okay. So why? Because it's server requirements. So interview point of time, so they may ask you on the server side, not the laptops. So that's why everything we will discuss on the server side, and also you have to install on the server only. That's why our environment also like that only, our access part and everything, right? So now let's start discussing about how to download the softwares here. How to download the softwares here. It's a very important topic. How to download the SAP softwares. SAP softwares. So to download the SAP software, we need to log into the support.sap.com or service.sap.com. We have to log in with these sites. We have to log in with this. Then after that, you have to go to the download softwares tab. Download softwares tab. So everything, all kind of softwares are available under this download softwares tab button. Right? Any softwares, SAP related small things to bada softwares we can download in the SAP Marketplace. That's why we will call it as the SAP Marketplace. In the Marketplace, all when you go to the vegetable market, you will get everything from the market, right? So here also you will get everything from the SAP Marketplace here. That's why we will call it as the SAP Marketplace here. But it's not everyone should log in here. To log into the SAP Marketplace, you need the user ID, which means SAP user ID, which will be provided by your organization, your company. So which cannot be shared with anyone. So this is provided by the user ID. So this starts with the S00 or S0 or S000. It starts with the S00 and a number followed by the number. So user ID, that we will call it as the user ID, which means SAP user ID we required. Normally we won't get anything this from, but so this will be provided by your organization. Once you join the organization, your company will allocate the one user ID to you. So So not, then you need to check with your organization policy also, your company team policy, how to get the yes user ID, right? This is a major important to download the softwares to do the other activities in the our marketplace. Okay, so now let's log into the our SAP Marketplace. Okay, let's log into the our SAP Marketplace. So log into the AC here, service.support.com or support.sap.com. Visit the SAP support portal. We have to log in here, right? Once you log in here, you can see here software downloads here, software downloads here, software downloads. Just click on the software downloads button, then you will be authenticated to, it will ask the yes user ID and passwords. Yes user ID and passwords. It will be authenticated. Yes user ID, so passwords. Okay, yes user ID and passwords. So see here, then you are authenticated. You got the download SAP software. So you are doing the installations, then you need to select this tab. Or if you are updating your patches, upgrading some tool, then you need to use this one. If you are downloading the databases, you need to download the database. So what are the databases you want to download? You have all the databases are available here, right? And also installation and upgrades. Suppose you want to do the installations and you need to download it, right? Now we want to download the software. So you have to go to the download SAP software. Here you can see the by alphabetical index, by alphabetical index, by alphabetical index. You have the so related softwares are available by alphabetical index here, right? So SAP all softwares are they segregated by alphabetical wise. Why? Because we have the ECC, NetWeaver, CRM, all not mixed here. It depends upon the first letter, alphabetical letter. They have segregated the all the softwares, right? So now we want to download the SWPM, the first software. SWPM means yes, right? You have to go to the yes here. You have to go to the yes field here. See here, yes. Here under the yes field, here, so you can see the yes related all the softwares, SDKs, S4 HANA, SL toolset, plugins, all are available here. So we have first SWPM software, right? So you can see the SWPM software is available under the SL toolset. So these are the softwares, installation softwares. So here SWPM is available, SWPM, which means software provisioning manager. Here, what is your OS X? You need to download this one. Windows, what we have to download for Windows, right? We need to download this button. Nothing is there. Just if we click on this zip button, so automatically it will be downloaded. It will be downloaded. See here, it is getting downloaded. The zip file is getting downloaded. So like that, we need to download the softwares, right? This is the SWPM. So first software we have downloaded. Suppose if you want to install the S4 HANA also, there is a S4 HANA softwares also available here. S4 HANA exports, S4 HANA finance, S4 HANA foundations, S4 HANA masking, whatever you want to download the softwares, all yes, it starts with the yes. So all yes related softwares are available under, so by alphabetical yes here, right? Suppose exports, ECC exports, suppose ECC, then ECC means, so it will come under the E. Then here we have the ECC softwares, ERP. That ECC softwares are available under the ERP. So we have the versions, ERP versions. So we discussed what are the latest versions in the ECC 6.0, 5.0, 6.0, and in 6.0, what is the latest versions? So ESP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ESP 8 also available. There is the last ESP 8. Then after that, S4 HANA, they have started releasing it. So this is the ESP 8 is the latest versions in the ECC. So just click on this button. Then just click on this button. Suppose you want to install the Eastern, we have the IDS also installed, NetWeaver also installed. Go to the installations and software. Then installations we are doing. So which database? Suppose like HANA, then you need to choose the HANA database. Then in the exports, you need to download it. So these are the installation exports, installation export. Click this button, click this button, click this button. It will be downloaded. Why? Because the exports are the large size. So they have segregated the 4 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Just if we click on OK button, that will be downloaded. So that will be getting downloaded. You can see that is getting 3.7 GB file that is getting downloaded. So like this, we need to download all the softwares from the SAP Marketplace. Now we downloaded the exports, SWPM also we downloaded. Then what about the kernel? Kernel means K for kernel. Go to the alphabetical index, kernel, K for kernel. So go to the K. So you will see the K related softwares, all K related kernels. Okay, we have the 64-bit Unicode and non-Unicode. Non-Unicode means only it will support there is a limited languages to support it. But Unicode, it support all other languages also. In the world, how many languages are there? It will support all the languages, right? But SAP by default, 2 languages will be installed. One is the German language and second one is the English language. The 2 languages it is available by default. Suppose you want to be Hindi language, you want to some other languages, Chinese language. So then Portugal, then you need to install the related language pack. You have to install it. The related language pack you have to install it here. So you need to download the kernel, Unicode kernel also you need to download it. This is the kernel files. You have to go to the installation. What is the operating system? You need to choose it. Then download the related kernel zip file. You can download it, right? So that like that we have downloaded all the softwares. So whatever the softwares are you required, you have to go to the respective folder. Then you need to download it. You need to download it, right? So this is the way we have to download it, right? So DB database related folders, DBs are available. Here you can download the database files. You can download it here. Whatever the database you want to install it, you can download that file also. Suppose you want to install the latest version or lowest versions, whatever you want to download, then you can install that software also. You can install it. You can install that base software also. You can install it. Okay. So whatever you want, so you can install that software also. Okay. This is the way we have to download the softwares, all the softwares, any softwares. Basically, SAP related anything, it's arranged as a alphabetical by alphabetical index. Then, so suppose backend related softwares, adapters, CRM, then ERP, theory, gateway, S/4HANA related softwares. So inventory, whatever you required, everything will can download from the here in the service marketplace in the download manager tab. So you have to download it. Once you download it, then you can keep it into your application server level for the installation, right? You can see the SWPM, DB, kernel, and exports. These are the exports. These are the exports. So all, so you can download it and keep it ready. These are the DB related file, database related files. All you can download it. Then you keep it ready for the installations. Okay. So tomorrow we'll start the installation. So, but don't miss the topics from today onwards. It's a very important. Why? Because today we discussed about the hardware requirements and software requirements and how to download the softwares in the service marketplace. So all these things we downloaded, right? All these things we downloaded. So it should be very important. Actually, today topic, they may ask you many questions. How to download the softwares? What is S user ID? SAP to download to log into the SAP Marketplace, we need the S user ID that will be provided by the organization. We cannot simply get from the open source. SAP are not the open source softwares. So like that, so we have to inform someone, ask you any kind of softwares we can download from the SAP Marketplace only. It will be arranged by as a alphabetical index wise. So you need to download by order. Suppose NetWeaver softwares, go to the N, then NetWeaver, then here SAP NetWeaver. Select the NetWeaver softwares. So here NetWeaver 7.5 or 6. Whatever it may be, then select it, go to the installations, right? So what is the database? Suppose HANA, then you can just download the HANA. So then what are the installation exports? You can download it. Exports, you can download it. Languages, you can download the languages. So like that, So we can download the respective softwares from the service marketplace. Okay. So like that
Sir, in
installation.
real time, hello?
Yes, real time also we
Sorry.
have to follow the same procedure to install the SAP application server. Same software, same.
Sir,
Yes, right. Tell me.
yeah, in real time, we have to download and install the softwares depending upon the requirement of the client, right?
Yes, right. Yeah.
Sir, another question that we are using only SAP methodology or any other methodology we are using?
Only SAP methodology means there is some phases, right? SAP methodologies we are using. It's not like that SAP methodology, some software or something like just to follow strictly
It's
follow
a
the
project life cycle.
life cycle management. To understand, to deliver the project within the timelines, to gather all these things. First, downloading, preparation activities, so client gathering, all these things. So step by step, one order wise, it will go right as a the life cycle management. Second off. Okay. So I have 4 GB RAM. How much do I need to upgrade to 16 or 4 GB? So 16 GB can go. That will be helpful for you.